Welcome. Thank you, students, for checking in to our career readiness team. What we're doing, we have a spotlight this week. You noticed last week we had a spotlight on C&J Enterprises, and we also had our college checklist. I hope you guys check that out. But this week we're moving into colleges, and we have UNM San Juan Center. I'll go ahead and allow these two wonderful ladies to introduce themselves at this point.
Thank you so very much. Hello, everybody. I'm Catherin. I have a long last name, Walker Grobler. Catherin is just fine. And I'm at UNM San Juan Center. It is a center located in the old ConocoPhillips building, which is the new Farmington Municipal School building. We are normally on the second floor, but not right now. So be sure to just phone if you need anything. Don't just stop by. That's our COVID prevention tactic at the moment. UNM has been in the community for over 25 years, actually going on closer to 30. And I've been with UNM San Juan Center now for 14 years. We are not a branch campus, like you may have heard of UNM Gallup. We're not like that, but we are a service site that allows our staff, and you'll meet Dr. Vitali in a moment, to support students who remain as distance students in the community and choose to attend UNM. So when all this COVID stuff happened, and with some of the online challenges, we were really in a good spot and ready to go. We would like to welcome you to consider UNM as an opportunity for your next educational goal as you complete high school right now. And I'd like to be as available to you as possible. So my mobile number, remember now, normal office hours, is 505-335-9713. And what we're unable to cover today, feel free to give me a call at any point or schedule an appointment, and we'll talk about your dreams, your career path, what UNM can offer, and anything that, for clarity, we're not able to fit in this time span. So thank you. Nice to meet you. Dr. Vitali.
Thank you, Catherin. And it might be a good idea to put your cell number during working hours in the chat so that students will have it for their, to put into their cell phones. I'm Dr. Frances Vitali, and I go by Frances. And I've had the opportunity to work with your esteemed teacher, Mr. Clary, when he was at UNM. And he is a stellar student as well as a stellar teacher, as you know. So it's a pleasure to be able to talk with you, especially during these COVID-19 times. And I hope that you're keeping yourself safe and balanced and well during these times. So I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I've been here in New Mexico now as my home since 1989. And I've been a teacher for lots of years, preschool, elementary, high school, college. And I am with the College of Education in the elementary and the secondary programs of the teacher education and educational leadership and policy. So that's all just to say that I work with those who are interested in becoming a teacher. And you will begin your path usually at San Juan College. And because San Juan College is our pipeline to coming into UNM programs, that's kind of our pathway. And I look forward to talking and meeting with you if you are interested in pursuing education. Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction. Wonderful, wonderful ladies here. They offer a lot of insight and a lot of assistance in taking that step into the post-secondary education world. For many of you seniors that are graduating, this can be a big step, and it can be a frightening step. And I encourage you call these ladies. They've offered their information, and there's quite a bit to soak in from that. So moving on, one of the questions is, as these students are taking this, what do our students coming from high school and going into college, what do they need to do in order to begin taking courses? at the post-secondary level at UNM.
All right, well, I'll get started, okay, Francis? To begin at UNM, and right now I understand you're being encouraged to submit applications to multiple institutions. So while you're submitting to UNM, I also do suggest you submit an application to San Juan College. Mr. Clary will be posting some other links from us, and one of them will be an instructional type of video on filling out the application, which you may not need. It's very simple. It's an undergraduate application at apply.unm.edu. But right now, because you won't have to make any final decision on where you go to school until next May, I really encourage you to dream big. Apply to the schools so that you are admitted, which is the very first step to ever consider picking classes at a place and getting started. UNM also has a neat website at degrees.unm.edu, because sometimes it's really hard to determine what you really would like to study. Now, with all the dual credit opportunities you have and the chances to explore in your amazingly forward-thinking high school, take a peek at degrees.unm.edu, and it's an outline of a traditional 4 years of school. And you'll see that some of those courses, which, for example, a freshman composition course, is going to have the same number at UNM as it does at San Juan College. So it gives you the opportunity to see how your dual credit even fits in. Application part 1. Part 2, start to work with an advisor. We have a lot of knowledge, and thank you, Mr. Clary, for identifying that, only because we've been so blessed over so many years to work with individuals. And it's hard to create any sort of a formula-packed reply on exactly what your career path might be, or what the best undergraduate degree would be for you. Or if you choose an arts and sciences major like psychology, can you minor in something like welding? How can you transfer in from your welding or your nursing? Can you do nursing here in Farmington? That's a lot of questions to cover. So get your application in. You will need an unofficial high school transcript, please, from your registrar at high school. If you're scheduled to take the SAT coming up, please name UNM as one of the schools you'd like to receive your test score. And then let's talk, because our schedule for the spring will be out. We can even look at that hypothetically, and we can dream for what your start at UNM in the fall of 2021 might look like, and if that ends up being the best route for you. That answered the question.
That's good. Yeah, thank you so much. Catherin is our go-to person. She is the person on the ground who has her pulse on helping students. And she is tireless, and she will be an advocate for you. And that is one thing that, even though we're not a branch, we are a center. So we are really support those. At our center, we can provide you with education opportunities, so you don't have to travel to the main campus, which is 6 hours away, round trip. So our center was actually developed for that purpose, so that you would not be left out of the educational equity, that you can get your degree in relatively easily without having to travel and be and have those disadvantages for you. So take advantage, because education is all about choices, having choices. And that's really what education gives you, that you have the opportunity for choices, and choices are powerful. And so in having choices, you can communicate with people around you who can give you those answers, so that you can, and give you that information so that you can make informed decisions. And that's what education does for you. It provides you powerful information so that you can make the choices that are best for you. So if you don't ask the questions and you don't seek the people out, who can give you those, answer your questions and give you extra information that you don't even know you didn't know, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage when you don't have to. And that's really, nobody can ever take away your education from you. And that's the power and privilege that education gives you. So you may not know what you want to do. I mean, that's okay. Get started at San Juan College while you figure it out. And then, you'll meet people, you'll meet professors, you'll meet, staff people, you'll meet advisors who can, give you ideas that you never even thought about before. And that leads you on this journey, this trajectory of what you can do next. That's the powerful part. So communicating and seeking out, just because you have a question, you don't want to ask another student, you want to ask somebody who knows the answer, right? So, or who can at least get you to the next level of that answer. So don't be shy in that regard, because you are important. You are truly worth it. You are the future. That we are all depending on. So that's what I would just add is, don't be shy and ask those questions. They're not dumb. No, they're not dumb answer or questions ever, by asking those questions for yourself, because you are important enough to, if you think it, you want to know it, then ask it. And there are lots of people. That's why we're here. That's why we're here as an institution of higher education, is to help you answer those questions, to help you get further where you need to be to reach your goals.
Well, thank you for the response. There was a lot of information there, students, plenty to pull from. And so I encourage you, they're offering to, if you have questions, reach out to them and ask, and these are assets that are available to you to help grow in your next step in life. So with that, moving on to our last question here, advice you would have for graduating seniors as they're going into post-secondary education, if this is a path they want to take, what type of advice would you want to give, or what type of advice would you have for them to help them make this next step?
All right. Check your emails. That's my, just kidding. But you have a lot of institutions right now and a lot of people who are giving you opportunities to explore, even more so virtually right now, what higher education could look like. And as tired as you may feel on occasion from being online, having less of your contact with your peers, from your senior year looking a little bit different than you would like it to normally be, do please check your emails. And I have a personal tendency to ask for you to let us know if you're not interested. So we, for example, because I'm the mother of a high schooler, are getting a lot of emails from places that we wouldn't necessarily seriously look at. So we're just taking the time to let them know, thank you, thanks for the opportunity. However, we're not really seriously considering that. Now, some of the things that impact our rural community is how ready we are to leave our area where we live. Sometimes we don't quite yet have the means all put together to decide that we're going to go and pay for a dorm and pay for the living costs that are associated with moving, for example, to Albuquerque at UNM. So what the opportunity is here is to get started at San Juan College. And I know you're probably saying, wait, you work for UNM. I do work for UNM, but we have an amazing asset in this community with San Juan College. And if it fits best in what you need to get started on your career path, to start at San Juan College, you're going to get a fantastic, affordable education. We also have worked for years. The University of New Mexico has worked for years with San Juan College. So the word pathways that you've heard more than once works for your strategy to start with courses that are going to be accepted by the University of New Mexico when you're ready, both whatever, financially, maturity-wise, when your mom is ready to say goodbye to you. When you're ready to go, you'll take that transcripted coursework with you. Oh, another advice, don't take a class just for credit. Enroll in a course and work really hard to get your highest grade possible. If you take it just for credit, you may end up having to take it again. Believe in yourself. Look at that syllabus the first day and strategize on how you're going to be the most successful through your entire term. And if you hit a hurdle, there are support systems in place for hurdles. Some of the support systems are called tutoring systems, tutoring centers. Some are called your professors, your advisors. But reach out. Don't suffer in silence. Dream big. Challenge yourself. This isn't meant to be easy. You're learning. You're getting content that's going to forever affect you. Be engaged. Choose to do your best. And know that you have a bazillion, that's a cool word, a bazillion opportunities out there. And we're happy to help you explore some of them if you'd like. But UNM San Juan Center, as Francis mentioned, is here in the community for you to support your opportunity to look at all that University of New Mexico has to offer. We're the flagship university of the state. We've been around since 1889. So if you hear this today and decide not to call me for a year and a half, we're here. We're ready to help you. And we are serving all the four corners of the state as well now, because our online system is so robust, all the nation and even international. So choose what's going to work best for you and identify, as we've said, the fact that you have so many choices that some days are going to feel so overwhelming. And as a consequence, get the help you need to get those down to a point where you can say, oh my goodness, I've got 3 amazing choices here. And that's where one of the notations that we'll put in your memos, you will see a presentation on financial aid. That's a whole nother question. Again, if you'd like me to help with that, I can, but we'll have a presentation there on how to pay for college. Don't sell yourself short by believing that you can't afford this. The state, the federal government, wonderful scholarship organizations like the Office of Navajo Nation Scholarship for Financial Assistance, many assets are out there, opportunities are out there for you to pay for this. So that's my last bit of advice. Don't stop on this dream path because you don't think you can afford it. Thank you so much for your time. And if anybody ends up with any other questions on things that we weren't able to cover, I know still Francis is going to go next, be sure to reach out to us. We're here for you. We're quite available. And we want you to have the best in your future as ever possible. Enjoy your senior year. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherin. What you said just reminds me of that song, Don't Stop Believing.
That is a good one.
And to piggyback on that, I think some of the things I would say is think big, think ahead, and think for yourself. When you're planning these next steps for your future, and that's when you're writing your application. Think about your audience, because you're having to sell yourself. It's like your commercial. Why should UNM? Why should Highlands New Mexico University? Why should Eastern? Why should New Mexico State University? Why should they invest in you? What do you have to offer them? And you know what? It's not about being like you're bragging. It's just you're telling them the facts. You're telling them the truth. And that's the way you should, approach that when you have your letters of interest and your essays that you will have to that will accompany your applications. So think about that, your audience, and also, just using your best academic language and your punctuation and all of those things, because they do, take those things into consideration. So it's not like you're writing a text to somebody, that you are writing a formal application and formal narrative. So, think about your those things when you're selling yourself in your application. and save your money. Think about the money you're going to be saving for different, for different things, for graduation. If you get money, then save it, put it aside, right? There's no excuses for not having money to go to college, because there's so much out there. So not being able to afford college is not an excuse anymore. It's not an excuse anymore, because there's so much out there. And I know that Mr. Clary has also talked to you about the fastweb.com. Get online now and and they'll ask you to do a profile. It takes about 12 minutes, but it asks you a lot of questions. And once you fill those questions out, they will send you possible scholarship opportunities that will fit your particular profile. And they'll even, on fastweb.com, they'll even write the letter for you to ask about more information about that particular scholarship. Everything's done for you. So don't waste any time in getting that done, because this is the time to start now, because again, you're thinking ahead. And once there are a lot, like Catherin said, there's really not much more I have to say, because she really just succinctly gave you the advice that you need, is to seek out the people who are here to help you. That's what we get paid for. That's what we get paid the big bucks for, so that we can help you, because we wouldn't be a flagship without you. You are here so that we can serve you. So let us do our job and do it well, please.
And if you need any convincing, we will get you to join the Lobo family. But always know, that's all right. Woof, woof. But always know that we'll listen well and we'll help to identify what's absolutely best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Francis mentioned a number of other universities that are in the state. There's absolutely no shortage of four-year schools in this state. But most of all, for right now, enjoy your senior year. Do well. Those A's really do count. And work hard, stay healthy, and thank you very much for considering the University of New Mexico. We offer a lot. We're a research institution, and we're recognized all around the world. So we'd love for you to consider joining us, again, when the timing's right. But apply so that we can even take a look at the possibility.
Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Clary?
All right, that does that. That's great responses from the both of you. Thank you so much, Catherin. Thank you so much, Francis, for taking part of your day to offer your insight, offer your wisdom, offer your assistance to our students here at Bond Wilson. So students, if you look down below right here, you'll see in the description all of the links that will be provided. I'll also provide the emails for both Catherin and Francis in the description as well. If you have any questions, their contact information will be listed there. All right. Thank you, students.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day, students.